Welcome back to the nationally syndicated Price of Business Show. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Chris Kidd, show favorite, personal favorite, longtime contributor on The Price of Business. We call him the money man here on The Price of Business Show, which is, that's pretty impressive considering the billionaires, some of the leading financial personalities that we have on the show and financial advisors, for us to give him such a title. But it fits because this guy does such an incredibly good job of providing clarity around money, which is a nightmare for many people. chriskidd.com, that's 2 Ds, is his website. Chris, always love having you on the program. Real quickly, talk about the coaching work you do and the things you do to help people when it comes to making better financial decisions.
Well, I'm a financial coach, which really means that I'm a teacher. I'm not one of these people that manages money for individuals. Rather, I teach them how to manage their own better. A lot of times, people come to me and they need to handle their money better with their personal finances, or they either need to, start saving more, get out of debt. And most of my clients that I work with personally is more on the investing side. And again, I'm not managing their money, but I'm showing them strategies that can, one, multiply their money a whole lot faster, and two, that can a lot of times reduce their risk that they may be taking. And a lot of times I'm kind of a sounding board after a while to where just make sure that they don't do anything stupid, and they check in with me when they've got questions.
Yep, absolutely. And, one of the most valuable things people can get is objectivity. And unfortunately, we often surround ourselves with people that will say what we want to hear, and we don't benefit at all from that. And we'll even get advisors because they want to get paid and continue to get paid, so they'll tell you what you want to hear. But you really need objective advice that's real world, which is why I love what Chris does. Now, Chris, here we are. We're already at the end of the year. I don't know about you, but, man, that was fast. I'm like, I'm not even sure what year it is fast.
This year just started.
Yeah, exactly right.
The year just started.
Yeah, there's the old saying is that when you're old, the days are long and when you're old, the days are long and the years are short. When you're young, the days are short and the years are long. And so we're definitely in the old stage.
Yeah, I was like, so what is that saying? Because which one I relate to? These years are flying by.
They are flying, yeah. That means you're old. Sorry, buddy. So am I. So let's talk about, though, this one running, this one will be over before a blink of the eye. Let's talk about some last-minute things people should be doing to help themselves financially to close with the best ending they possibly can. And also we're going to spend some time thinking about the new year. But let's start with what are some things people should be thinking about and doing?
Well, one thing is remain disciplined, and that's pretty much, that should go all year long. But and I'm preaching to the choir right now. I'll admit it because I'm bad at this too. But when it comes to giving and stuff, gifts and things for people, I lose my mind, and I always spend more than I plan. But so that's do as I say, not as I do. Anyhow, I don't put myself in any bad situations, but I know that I'm going to spend more than I originally anticipate. That's just how it always works out. But be disciplined and don't put yourself in a bad situation. Like, don't take on a lot of debt just to have a good Christmas for your kids or for whoever. And one of the things that I actually wrote in my book, Defeating Debt, which would be really controversial, and this isn't really the time of year to implement this. It would be something to kind of prepare them for ahead of time. You don't get right up to Christmas and then be like, oh, you know what? This year we're going to go feed the homeless or something, and we're going to donate, time and talent and treasure, and we're going to do something for other people rather than do something big for us. So that is an idea, and it'd be very fulfilling for families and the kids as well. I'm not saying don't get any kind of gifts, but you can tone it down and then take the kids to give them a whole different experience and see what it's like for some other people who may not have as much. And the fulfillment that you get for being able to help in those situations is worth more than any kind of toy.
Oh, yeah. And we, when my kids were little, we did that as a family quite often. We would go shopping together and buy stuff for a homeless shelter that was for families, not for singles. And man, talk about profound. They were blessed. My kids were blessed. I was blessed. It was a great learning example. And to this day, my adult kids talk about that, and they try to emulate similar things with my grandkids. And so it's an incredible multi-generational legacy. And, you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to do something for everyone. These kind of organizations have a list of specific needs, and they gladly take them and provide them, and they can make a big difference. A point you're really making is really
and you
good.
Don't have to.
Go ahead.
And you don't have to do anything big. I mean, sometimes it's something small. I mean, there's kids out there, they would just they would cry from excitement if they just got a teddy bear, like $5 or $10. Just the fact that they got something. I'm gonna get myself worked up thinking about these situations. But anyhow, go ahead. Sorry.
You're absolutely right. It only takes a little to have a big impact, and having your kids go with you to do that shopping, that's really powerful. Having them do the shopping, knowing they're not going to get it, but it's going to profoundly affect someone else. And in the place that we used to bless with that, we could see that. We saw some of the reactions, and wow, that's like, wow, my kids were like, they got that excited over that. And because it'd be modest, because we were trying to help as many as we could. But it has a profound impact. But what you say also ties in with the tax season, correct? January, by December 30th or 31st, I should know by now, that last day of December, a lot happens that you have to have done to leverage and maximize your tax situation. And so one of the big things, of course, is tax-deductible gifts. Talk a little bit about that and make sure you got that done.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. So one of the best gifts that everybody loves is money. So you can give up to for this year tax-free as like gifts. Like if you've got you need to get rid of some money, you can give each kid up to $16,000 this year. And I wouldn't necessarily put it in their pocket. I would give it to them and then say, hey, we're going to put this aside, invest it or something. We'll make it, go work, let them spend a little bit. But people can do whatever they want with that. That's just my personal opinion. But that's one thing they can do. A lot of times, myself and other business friends of mine, if we're in a situation where we're going to owe some money, go try to find something that can be used for your business that can be written off. A lot of times a vehicle, like my truck. I've got a truck that it's over the certain weight limit that it has to qualify. But if it is, then you can deduct the full amount of whatever that is. I know a lot of people are familiar with Grant Cardone. He bought a jet several years ago, or the first jet that he had bought. That's how he came across or got into that, because he needed a big tax break, and he had figured out how to, if he could take delivery of it by a certain time and use it, he could write off the entire jet for that year rather than sending it to the IRS. And I don't really like how the government is a steward of our money. I don't think they do a very good job, and they always pay too much and get too little for it. But anyhow, that's just my 2 cents.
That and another buck will buy you a bad cup of coffee. But yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, in the same vein, because we're talking about what are some end-of-year savings, I have found, December, especially if you're in business, but really in general, it's kind of a laid-back time to a certain extent. It's a great time to evaluate the streaming services you use, other subscriptions you have, how much you're spending on a lot of different things. And there's so much you can do that are small but have a zero impact on your quality of life, but potentially a substantial impact over time on your costs. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's another piece out of my book, that it's the little things that get you and not the big ones. I asked, how many people have ever been bit by an elephant, and not too many, but how many people have been bit by a mosquito? So it's all those little things that get you, and the little ones add up. You got enough little numbers will add up to a big number. And a lot of times, in fact, I just did this. I just knocked $100 off my monthly cable bill because I called because I was mad at my service was acting up, and I've been having some issues with it. So I was without internet for I don't remember how long, but I hate doing this, but I spent 2 hours on the phone. But I got a lot for it, and one of the things was a $100 discount off my monthly bill every month. It's good to review that stuff, and not just, call into the customer retention departments for services that you use, and tell them that you need to see if there's some sort of a better deal or what kind of promotions do they have. Everybody has a promotion all the time, and right now there's no telling what they'll have because everybody's doing stuff for Black Friday. So a lot of people will probably be doing promotions around this time.
That's particularly true in the technology companies like the internet. There's no doubt about it. Chris Kidd, we're getting near the end. Final thoughts as we wrap up the segment. I was going to talk about next year, but we could do that early next year or in December. Final thoughts. We're running out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah, just stay safe, have a happy holidays, and don't overspend. Be disciplined, and think of the future and not just the moment. And yeah, we'll be back and talk about some investing and stuff for 2023.
Yeah, I like that. Think about the future, not just the present, because kind of like, if you got some family time for reading books to kids, take a moment and read the crickets and the ants, or the grasshoppers and the ants. And the grasshoppers always wanted to play, and the ants were always working, and the grasshoppers got themselves in serious trouble when the weather went in the wrong direction. So be an ant. Don't be a grasshopper. So that's good advice. I like that. I like reading our kids' books with a morality tale to them, and that's a good one, and goes right into our theme. Chris Kidd, chriskidd.com. That's 2 Ds. I'm Kevin Price. Stay tuned for more.